Hello, I don't know what happened there. I do apologise. I think Yann was on mute. His microphone's not working and he was crying. He needs someone to hold his hand. Can't do a show on his own. Unlike some, are you there, Yann?
Yes, I'm here.
What the fuck is that? I didn't say Alexa. I said Yann. Welcome to Follow Everton. We're renowned for not being able to start the show properly, but I think we'll start again with Yann jumping in 30 seconds. Well, welcome to Follow Everton. A very warm welcome to you all and yourself, Yann. Thank you for coming on for tonight's show.
Good evening. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you fine. Quite a lot to get through tonight, Yann. Everton back in
we're just glossing
pre-season.
over the technical issues there that were imposed upon me somehow out of nowhere. Thank you very much.
Back in pre-season, away in Ireland, ahead of Everton's pre-season game, Sligo Rovers, Seamus Coleman's first club, I believe. The players put out some content today. Well, not the players. They were seen in training. Sean Dyche also did an interview. And Everton have got plenty of transfer business being discussed because there's quite a lot of links out. Should we go straight into the transfers, Yann? Or do you want to talk about Sean Dyche?
No. I mean, the transfers for me is always... at one moment you thought, oh, it was a sure thing. Branthwaite was going to leave. There was even rumours Pickford was going to leave, and I was just thinking they were nonsense. And now it's Onana's going, and we can hold on to Branthwaite, and we get signings out of nowhere. Just things are just completely bonkers, and we don't know what might happen with Friedkin and other things and money availability. It's just bonkers. So you know, looking ahead for this programme and thinking of all the signings, and all the preparations, I was going, sorry, mate, it's on you to look at the signings and transfers because I just think it's...
Oh, don't worry. I'm going to lead the show anyway.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much. Sorry about that before. I don't know. It was all good to go. And then the next thing you know, it wasn't.
No, I did start the stream just to allow some people to come on. And I thought you were going to wait for me, but you decided to jump in even though you had no microphone.
You kept popping in and that. Anyway, thank you for joining us on this lovely Tuesday. It's Tuesday, isn't it?
Yeah. Yann, let's try and stick to the structure that I've got in place, if that's okay. Let's not make it a classic
I mean,
Mabs
all right.
and Yann show. I'm going to ask you some questions. You're going to give
Go
me your
for it.
opinion. Thanks to everyone watching. We've got over 100 currently with us tonight. I'm going to talk first and foremost about transfers. The big one is that Everton are linked with, yet again, Wilfried Gnonto. He is the Leeds United winger, a right winger. Yann loves a right winger. This guy, he has real blistering pace. Quite a small, stocky frame, Yann. 5'5" or 5'6", I think.
Yeah,
Italian under 20 international.
That's not too dissimilar from Jack Harrison, who we also got from Leeds. I mean, are we just acquiring fringe wingers from Leeds?
No, he actually is quite highly rated. He's an Italian under 20 international. Started a fair amount of games last season for us, for Leeds, I should say. And a player that we tried to sign last summer with a £26.7 million bid, rejected last summer. And Leeds saying he's not going anywhere.
It's a good job we didn't sign him, though, because that would probably equate to about another 6 points. I do have to point out we have been very generously.
Thank you,
Amanda. Yes.
Thank you so much. And that's a good time to very quickly ask you all to hit the like and subscribe button, turn notifications on, and if you do have a spare few pounds to donate to the charity, if you do have a spare few pounds that you want to donate to the channel, not charity, then by all means hit the join button underneath next to subscribe and pick your favorite tier of membership, which gives you
that
some
means tier is in TIER, not TEAR. You don't need to, get a teardrop and murder on behalf of
there'll be plenty of tiers when Mason Holgate, Dele Alli, Michael Keane, Neil Mopay, and I'm sure there's another one who I'm not particularly. Ashley Young, there you go.
Okay.
Are all lining up for Everton on the first game of the season. But for now,
I don't want to mess the thing around. I know you're talking about potential incomings and outgoings, which
Willie Gnonto.
Yeah.
If
So
we can
no, I mean absolutely. I think at the moment who do we have as a recognised winger besides Harrison and McNeil?
So we've only got Harrison and McNeil as recognised wingers at the club, and we haven't actually got a single right winger with a right.
We've got Ashley Young.
It's absolutely shocking, mate.
I know. No, so we do desperately need him. I mean, so I think the question isn't, is there room for this kind of, any player in the squad? Because we could go out and, we could get your dad on the wing.
Okay, so in all reality, Wilfried Gnonto, right winger with a right foot, Italian under 21 international, done reasonably well in the Premier League in his first season, I think, and very highly rated as a 19-year-old. Everton had a bid rejected last summer, couldn't get the deal over the line. There was a Twitter campaign actually called Free Willie, and it wasn't very effective. The Willie stayed in his pants. We weren't able to get Leeds' star man, and we're back in for him this summer, Yann. It's 36 championship games last season, 8 goals, 2 assists. So he's got a bit of an eye for a goal. Played, if you look at the statistics where he played and how many minutes, there wasn't a lot of 90 minutes. In fact, he didn't actually play a 90 minutes, a full 90 minutes. What? He played the 4th and 5th game week, Yann. He played a full 90 minutes. And then after that, didn't play 90 minutes in any of the matches. Oh, he did. 1 90 minutes appearance against Rotherham.
One thing I will say is when you look at that, do we have an insider Leeds perspective that they might have been thinking, okay, Gnonto is angling for a leave here. We've got a young player, so we give him 5 or 10 minutes most of the time when we sub Gnonto off. There are contexts.
He also didn't start a lot, but in case you're wondering what position he did play, predominantly right wing, and a few appearances on the left, but it was vastly the right wing. And the season before in the Premier League, I remember him more as a left winger, and I just want to confirm whether he was more on the left, which is Jan's preferred position. So let's just have a look. Yeah, he was on the left wing, predominantly in the Premier League, so can play on both flanks, Yann.
Yeah, I was going to say the
Put inside.
versatility. I don't think that versatility is any indication of whether we're likely to see him on one side or the other. I don't think it's possible to say because we play players out of position, and I'm sure Leeds have done the same. Well, it's the way of football these days, isn't it?
It's good though that he's got that option. He could play on the left and cut in on his right foot, which we haven't got, and also play on the right hand side and kind of provide that width. You think in some away games where the fullbacks aren't bombing on, perhaps he would go on the right to provide a natural threat. Maybe at home.
When do our fullbacks bomb forward these days with consistency? Sorry, signings.
Yeah, no, you're spot on. Do you think he'd be a good bit of business then, Yann? You're looking around 25 million again.
But that's what I was going to say. 25 to a plus million. It's sort of going to be the going base rate for a player of his position, of his caliber, to go to. I mean, you look at it, and depending on somebody's mood or bias towards us, we're a mid-table Premier League team, and that's just going to be the going rate. Is it inflated because Leeds are pissed off with us, or I don't know. Could we probably go out there and get a bargain or a better deal? Maybe,
I wouldn't be against... Sorry, continue.
No, but I'm just saying, do we need some established, recognised quality that knows what they've got to do in certain scrappy situations? It's not like we're going to be walking comfortably into 8th place. I'd love to think we are. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I wouldn't be against signing Gnonto. I think you need a squad. You need 5 wingers at the club. He could play on either flank. He's got big potential.
But this all comes back to Richarlison, doesn't it? A player who can play out wide and let's play on either side and play as a number 9 or behind the number 9. You want that versatility, and we're
so
very
playing
limited.
as a number 9 though, Yann. Because
not Gnonto. I'm just saying that
Yeah, I know what you're getting. You want that flexibility. What Everton have to be very careful.
We didn't see from Danjuma at all.
I think he had an attitude problem.
Did he? Not getting played?
No, not getting played. What we've got to be careful of with this Onana money is if we get 50 million, we've already received 20 million from Dobbin and Ben Godfrey. Can we put down payments down on 5 players with that Onana money? What I don't want to see Everton do is splash out a load of money on maybe 2 signings who are big risks. If we're going to take a bit of a risk on a player like this, we're putting 10 million up front. We give him a 5-year deal, 4-year contract. We give Leeds another 10 million next season, another 10 million the season after. When you think with the new stadium, we'll be in a much better position financially. We need so many things that I don't want to see us just go, right, we've got 50 million from Onana, 30 million on Gnonto, 20 million on a replacement for Onana. And then what really have we achieved? We've lost one of our best players. We took a massive risk in the midfield. And we've got this bloke from Leeds who spent last season in the Championship. And
sorry, I just thought I'd want to ask this as well.
Yeah.
Factoring that in. Because obviously, if we're talking about wingers, the supply side, and you're just talking about finances now.
Yeah.
Amanda's asked the question here, and but Peter said, "I'd rather pass than Coleman, Young, or Holgate." That's an age, and ability issue. It's AAA. But that, there you go. Anyway, sorry.
No, I agree. I don't like the options we've got at right back. I don't think Patterson pulls up any trees, and Coleman has
he just had a series of injuries though that set him back from playing comfortably?
I don't think I've ever really seen him be very, very good 1v1 and very good defensively aware and all that sort of stuff, and have a lot of end product.
He looks like someone who's been caught scrumping apples in a farmer's field, and he's just like, I don't know. That's me.
Just to avoid jumping away before, I'll talk about that when we come to the pre-season, because you can give me your thoughts on who we need to sell. But Gnonto's the first big name linked. And then there was a couple of links to Weston McKennie, another player who was at Leeds in the season they got relegated. I think he was on loan as well.
Was he at Germany at some point?
I think he's currently at Juventus, Yann.
Okay.
But again, he's an American soccer player, as they call him, 25 years of age, no goals at Leeds. 5 goals and 83 appearances for Juventus, and he's a fully fledged United States international with 11 goals for the USA. He didn't score in 34 games for Juventus last season, but I believe he's more of a defensive midfielder. He's with a high work rate.
Yeah, and also that I mean, I don't know whether Juventus particularly focus on that style of play, but traditionally, you know, you're not going to see many defensive midfielders for Juventus scoring a lot of goals. So, I mean, unless you count Zinedine Zidane, but he was. Yeah.
I'm looking at McKennie's sort of map of what he's good at. He's good at everything, really. Reasonably. Go on.
Sorry. No, I was just going to say, because David's talking about it, and I wanted to ask you this question before. I didn't know whether it was kind of maybe a segue at the end. Just let me know if you want to. But I was thinking, do you subscribe to the belief that it's better to get 1 or 2 key signings, and obviously you invest on quality, then you're relying on them, or do you go for the strength in numbers, hope you strike it lucky with 1 or 2, and you know, as you say, get 5 or 6 players, but then you're not paying for the quality, so you could strike out? Or which, you know, do you go for quality or quantity effectively?
It just depends on the need of where we're at, doesn't it? In an ideal world, we'd have a settled first 11 and substitutes. There'd be 1 or 2 players leaving every summer. Maybe they want a fresh challenge.
That was what's so alarming. That's what's been so alarming about the last few transfer windows, though, hasn't it?
Well, the past 8 years, it's, you know, under Moyes, it would be, okay, we've lost 1 player, we'll get 2. 2 are gone, we'll get 3. We'll get 1. We'll get, you know, we'll get a loan. It always felt like, you can imagine
5 attacking midfielders. We need 5 attacking midfielders.
You can imagine it would be like, okay, we'll look at this Everton team. It stayed together. Where would you improve? Okay, if we get a right back, and then we get a right midfielder, and so let's say everyone else stayed, and then next season you'd have that same team, and you'd probably go, okay, where's our priority this season? Okay, we'll change Mykolenko. We'll get an attacking left back who can also play, and gradually you go and improve 1 or 2 positions a season. You keep the squad together. So to answer your question, I don't think we're quite at that stage yet. I think we need 1 or 2 years more, because we've got so many problems. We've lost so many individuals. The squad is so thin. Loads of right backs. Only got 3 decent centre halves. 1 left back. Loads of strikers. No wingers. You know, it's so horribly imbalanced that I think we have to go for quantity over quality with more risk. I'd love us to just go actually and get 2 players, maybe a world-class defensive midfielder and a very good winger. But what you've offered me is Gnonto, and I don't consider that. I think that's a risk. So yeah, I categorize him in the quantity rather than the quality option. I think he's too much of a risk.
I mean, when you think about it, we haven't. I mean, we're going to lose Onana, are we?
Yeah, Sean Dyche didn't actually mention him in the press conference, so I think he's all but gone, basically. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, although speaking of the press conference, he's mentioned quite a few positive things. So yeah, did you think then there's the need to Weston McKennie's the central? Yeah, would he be like the like for like replacement for Onana in it?
I believe so. Yeah, he's a very tenacious, tough tackling defensive midfielder, very aggressive, decent strength, jumps well.
Is he a Fellaini then?
No, he's a smaller stature. He's more stocky. He's kind of like a high energy Jordan Henderson. He's kind of good at everything, really, but without really excelling in any particular area.
Oh, I wish you hadn't have said that.
Good at everything, but doesn't score.
Not everything, then.
He harries, he hassles. You know, he's
yeah, the old school, like a Ji-sung Park kind of. Anyway. So any more on the radar, or is it just nonsense? What's happened with DCL? He couldn't agree terms with Newcastle. So now what? West Ham are sniffing around him?
Yeah, I did read in January that West Ham were looking at Calvert-Lewin. And then it looks like they're back in for him. What do you make of that? Why is West Ham now considered a step up? Have they really changed, and improved West Ham?
David Moyes being an established manager and doing what he did with the dynasty at Everton, I get the impression that from people who start engaging in business with West Ham and dealings with them, he will have he will have order. He'll have a structure. He'll have everything settled. He'll know everyone. There'll be a culture of respect and decency. Because the one thing that I do say is there were some. Sorry, I can't avoid swearing here, but the nature of his departure to Manchester United was very shitty. But that's also involving agents and United and Ferguson and other stuff.
Which one? Fellaini, Lukaku, Rooney?
No, Moyes going to United. That
Oh.
was still shit. Yeah, but
They're all just a shit, to be honest.
But broadly speaking, okay, people sometimes make mistakes, but broadly speaking, it is recognised in the footballing world that David Moyes is a very decent human being. He's a good man, and that does a lot for the kind of the structure and the atmosphere that you build up around you. And with having a free stadium, the money there with the TV thing around the women's team, yeah. 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 Thanks, Jeff.
When I watched Mabsy and Yann are renowned for interrupting each other, talking over each other, jumping from topic to topic. Nothing ever gets done. I'm sat looking at my phone with a note of the things I want to talk about, and Yann's talking about David Moyes.
Right. Keep going then.
Okay.
You know what? Let's
David
not
Moyes,
have a
I'll tie in
conversation.
I'll tie in David Moyes for you here. Gareth Southgate's just left his role as England. I want your thoughts on that. But also, doesn't it think if Sean Dyche is on that list, Everton's replacement would be David Moyes, or dare I say it, Gareth Southgate? It stinks of an Everton player, doesn't it? So it stinks of an Everton manager, Gareth Southgate. Kind of the boring football, cobbling the results together.
Mr. Almost.
Failing
no,
at
that's
the top.
really. Don't. I don't. My heart goes out to Gareth. Let's leave it there.
Okay, if you don't want to talk about Gareth Southgate, it's fine. But I've got to try and rein you in, Yann. I've got to try and rein you in for the purposes for this.
But we survived for a while on the last vestiges of Moyes' dynasty, I think, a little bit. And we paved over the cracks that were emerging under Koeman and various other things. Anyway, yes, moving on.
Okay, Everton have also been linked with another Juventus player. I think it was Arthur Melo. I'm not 100% sure.
Arthur Melo. I know. If
Wasn't
we are
he at Liverpool?
No. Oh God. Yes, maybe. No, but he's actually. Oh no.
He did play for. Yeah, he signed for Liverpool. He never played. And then last season he's gone to Fiorentina. Really dropped off.
I'm getting horrible. No, we're not the home for footballing waifs and strays. We've done it enough. No.
That's what we're renowned for. It seems that Everton, and I said it in a video I did on my own the other night, we've gone back to our old roots, which is looking for the best of the Championship, which we've done in Dyche. We tried to do with Philogene. And also players who are struggling at other clubs. You could argue Weston McKennie, but he played a lot of games last season. Maybe they just want to change. And Arthur Melo is another. He was at Liverpool, didn't play, had a bad injury. Former Brazilian international, former Barcelona player. Yann, you seem despondent thinking about him. Is this just agent talk? Is this just an agent chucking Everton's name in, try and get him a move?
Probably. And it's probably just going to bring his name back into it because it'll come out. I don't know. You don't know. It's just speculation. There might have been a reason why he signed and never played. Yeah. And it could just be. It could be a way of getting a story out, or it could be a way, of angling for attention. And you never know. It could be to go, okay, Onana's going. They just see the money flowing and think, oh, we'll stick an oar in and hope we get dragged along with the current. That's all it is.
I'm a big fan of your kind of room setup at the moment, but where's your microphone?
I unplugged it for some reason. It's not working, so I'm now using the built-in one. Sorry.
Okay, well, we may have to sponsor a new microphone because it's
no, it's fine. It's just the settings on here because it was all set up to go, and then when it started or something, it just completely changed all the settings when I got kicked off the thing. Don't worry.
Okay. Well, fine. We've got 225 people watching, and thank you so much for that. Make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't done already. Another out player today, Yann. Vitalii Mykolenko linked with a move to Napoli. Apparently, the chief scout at Napoli wanted him before he signed for Everton. We gave a good kind of context that if Everton were more settled and were picking holes in the side and going, oh, we've got a great 11, but where could we improve? You'd probably go, My third or fourth option would be to kind of get a new left back who can actually cross the halfway line and put a decent ball in. Would you be
Yeah,
open to selling Mykolenko, or do you think we've got to prioritise other things?
I don't. I don't think he would be, as you say, top of the priority list. It's like, it's all context dependent. If we lost Branthwaite and didn't get a decent replacement, then I'd say focus on that. But at the moment it's wingers, and then knowing where we stand with DCL, Onana. So no, it's not a priority. But if we were, as you say, picking holes in it, I would say, is it a fitness thing? Is it because he's not had the settled team in front of him and everything off the pitch, and he's come here and thought one thing, and everything that's gone on and being moved, and you don't know personally how he's dealing with what's going on in Ukraine, and I don't want to make excuses for that, because there have been moments when he's shown the potential to be, he could be established and be here for a good 5 or 6 years, but as it is. I wouldn't call him a weak link, but he just doesn't offer what we want. Are we being greedy?
I think because we've watched left backs like Baines and Luca Dean for so many years who can defend and also offer so much going forward that when you get put with someone like Mykolenko, who, I'm going to be honest with you, this won't be popular with everyone, but he just reminds me of Tony Hibbert. He's just a very good defender, but he's like a centre half playing on the wing who doesn't have the centre half stature, but there's just something about him that makes me uncomfortable with Mykolenko. I just want more from my left back. I think when you're so limited as well as a offensive unit, when you've got two defenders that your fullbacks can't get forward, every opposition winger knows they can ping themselves forward and stay forward, and every opposition right back knows they can also bomb on attack. I mean, Yann, you seem a bit disheartened by what I'm saying. Would you perhaps be thoroughly against Ashley Young maybe taking the left back spot for a full season, allow Mykolenko to be sold to Napoli, and then go and spend that money on a Holgate replacement?
I fundamentally have a problem with you having an issue with a player being like Tony Hibbert. Why is that a bad thing?
Because we're not in 2005. We need a defense. Remember how you felt when Seamus Coleman broke through into that right back berth and Tony Hibbert got bombed off? It was like, I don't know, but it was the most amazing moment to have that blunt edge sharpened and actually have an option coming from that right-hand side, bombing on, getting crosses in, and being able to defend. Why do we need to go back to the past where you've got these defenders who great defenders but offer nothing, and they're part of the reason Mykolenko's good is because he's fucking useless going forward, and he only stands back the whole game. If he bombed forward, people would be criticising him like Luca Dean, saying he's caught out of position. Rant over.
People can't be in two places at the same time. I mean, football is by its very nature a game of deception. So what do you want? Do you want somebody who's going to attempt to not be deceived or to deceive other people? I mean, it's very difficult to get somebody who can do both. That's just me.
No, I think there's time to defend and time to attack. When you need to attack, Mykolenko hasn't got it. He hasn't got it even if he had to.
That might be... No. I want to make a distinction here. That might be true, but it's not as if we've seen him attack and fail catastrophically. We've seen him very rarely attack, which to me still gives the option that he could attack, and it's down to his teammates and the tactics and the opposite. And just saying.
In some of the home games where we've had a lot of possession.
He scored a bloody wonderful volley. And
I don't care. He scored one bloody volley. I want to watch it 38 games a season and see some decent fullback play. I'm not singling him out. I think the
Everton
right
dominate the league the fourth season in a row as two left back as their fullbacks top the league joint golden boot. Sorry.
I'm equally critical of the right back spot, which last season had. Well, that's fine. This is a game of opinions, but
I know. I'm only playing.
You've got Ben Godfrey, who was very good defensively last season, although did play in a very bad spell for us where we didn't win a game for 12 weeks. Yeah. When Patterson got dropped and Dyche promised him more game time and all this sort of shite. we looked very blunt going forward, and then when he'd play one of the attacking right backs, we'd look very blunt defensively, and we were getting caught out. You've got to find that balance, and I don't think. Listen, I'm not saying sell Mykolenko. I'm saying if I had 11 players that I liked, and Onana was still here, and we had a right winger, and I knew I'd be then going, okay, that would be the area I'd look to improve. You
Yeah.
gradually work your way through. But Napoli are interested in him. The question was, would you take a bid for, say, 15, 20 million for him?
I think not without knowing that we either have a reliable, decent backup or somebody in the frame already. Who do we have a contingency? Because he's not been here that long. I can't imagine that it's been a priority for the scouts and Thelwell to go, okay, well, I just bought Mykolenko. Let's go out and line up a replacement for Mykolenko. And maybe I'm wrong, but I see it would open another hole when we've already got a thin squad. So no, sorry, I wouldn't. And it might be a good money offer to take, but it doesn't make business sense.
Okay, thank you very much.
Open yourself up.
I'm avoiding the temptation to make up a rumor just to get your reaction, because that would be too fun. You know, like Everton linked with X player, or Everton going to sell Pickford to Chelsea, and I'm going to stick to the topic, and I'm going to be on good behaviour today. It's not often I have someone on the stream with me. In all honesty, if you look back at the last 15 streams I've done, I'd say 90% of them just sat talking to myself. So it's refreshing just to have human company on this. Sean Dyche did an interview today talking about next season. He said that Everton are in a more stable place financially, which was nice to hear. He also said they've got things in the pipeline, ins and outs. I'm assuming he's referring to Onana, possibly Calvert-Lewin even, but I think Onana is on the way out. Ins and outs. He said Kevin Thelwell's been on the phone all summer. You've got Kevin's number, haven't you, Yann? Have you been in contact with him? Are you the reason he's been on the phone all summer?
Oh yeah, we've been sending feet pics back and forth to each other like you wouldn't believe, mate. Yeah. No, it's just. Oh God, I really wish I wouldn't have said that.
So you charge him for them?
That's
why having the skin. Yann's feet pics. Cheesy Viking feet.
Why can we not? Yeah, I mean, he was talking about obviously a lot of things being out of control or out of individuals' control. So you get your head down and do the job, but it's very difficult when perhaps how you operate is going to be dictated or influenced by the ongoing circumstances that are outside your control. So to say that it's not on your mind is, it's the potted line, the media speak, isn't it?
He's very well media trained. He also said Everton need to be careful. We want to remodel this season. What do you make of that? Do you think he wants to remodel the squad? Do you think he wants to remodel the style of play, or do you think this is just figure of speech?
Yeah, well, yeah, I did pick up that, and it was.
We're not going to do what Lampard tried to do the second season and try and start buying football when we haven't got 11 good football. And that's what I come to when I say Mykolenko, because he isn't a good technical footballer. He's not a possession. I don't understand why someone like Napoli would be into him. I don't think we've got a lot of those possession players who can score. I think we're a transition team. We like to rob the ball off you and score. We like to get the set pieces. We like to wait for you to make mistakes.
Yeah, I mean, he did, as Peter Duggins just said, Dyche, as I'm quoting him, called Harrison exceptional, technically and tactically. So it's just amusing. But he did obviously learn a new trick over the summer. We saw that rainbow flick in the video. It's all carefully cultivated, I think, to distract from huge change, dynastic change. So if he's talking about remodeling, it's probably in his mind. I don't know if it might just be a phrase to throw away that can be interpreted and allow people like us to discuss this when we're talking about the final season of Goodison.
Might be referring to
a new board.
More things there, possibly.
Yeah.
We might be referring to the fact there's new owners. They're obviously very close. They've already arranged a pre-season friendly with Rome Roma. I don't see, that's a very glamorous and nice fixture. I've already got a Roma shirt from when I was in Rome last November for my 30th. But we could say the remodeling is from head to toe. Every aspect, maybe recruitment, from ownership, from style of play. So you could leave that to interpretation. But he said, "I want no points deductions for a start." That would be the one thing he doesn't want is a points deduction.
Yeah,
It was a decent interview from Dyche.
It was quite funny. I mean, he was talking about. He is quite right, because I think sometimes, no disrespect to the guys, because you just, no disrespect to the lad conducting the interview or even anyone who answers the questions, but the same sort of questions get asked, and it was, they mentioned it at the start of the Euro final. It's like, oh, which team's more determined, or who wants it more? It's like, what absolute nonsense. It's like, it's not like they turn up and, it's 5 minutes before kickoff, they're just about to leave the dressing rooms, and you go, you know what, lads, today doesn't really matter, does it? Just fuck it, as long as we don't lose by too many. I mean, so yeah, I mean, he's been talking about doing the metrics and the tests and all these kind of things, the bleep test, the yo-yo, all this kind of stuff that they're doing. And what doing? Oh, what he said, he's going to have his day. It's where he gets back to basics and does sort of hardcore running and just tries to get their endurance going. And the players seem a bit, gaffer day. I mean, fair play. And the fact that when they went over to Ireland, I know it may be a bit gimmicky for the cameras and stuff, but that they were was it a rugby or Irish rugby facility? And I just hope they make the use of actually doing some sort of strength and resilience training, and like in the bloody bags of the mechanical.
Well, let's talk about then the video we saw where the players have been in training. For me, I was quite impressed with the performance of Neil Maupay. No, I'm not saying this to be a troll like him. He was getting a lot of encouragement. Seemed to be doing.
Dukes was like, "Hey!" on the video, wasn't he? It was. I think it was making a point of, look who's here.
Oh no, your cousin is behind. Do not disturb the stream.
Anyway,
sorry. Yeah. No. Did you pick up anything else from the Dyche interview?
I mean, not to cast them in any sort of light, but it seemed like they're all just having a bit of a good time. And part of me thinks that Seamus sort of turned around and said, I might not be here very much longer. Can we just go to Ireland for like a trip? And so they go back there, and they're all having a bit of a good time and laughing around. And you can see some of the players that don't take it necessarily as seriously, or maybe it's not necessarily something that needs to be taken seriously. But then there are those who you can see they put their game face on, and it's a very good indication. What I did pick up from those videos in general was seeing players like Branthwaite. Even if there's rumours of him going somewhere, I just see him as being an upstanding, very mature young man, because he was focused on training. He wasn't dicking around, and that's a positive sign. Whether you can view it through any lens. You could say that, that means he's trying to look professional and his agent's going to angle for a transfer away. Or it could be that he's just focusing on what he's doing and he's really serious about being the best footballer he could possibly be.
Some of the other players that I saw...
Red leader.
Yeah. What did you think of some of the other players you've seen in the training video? Did anyone else impress? Because I think, as I say, I'm not trolling. Mark saying 34 watching, only 12 likes. Yeah, there's actually 262 watching, of which 225 are watching on X. I just don't get, Yann, why does everyone just sit on Twitter? Why can they not be bothered just to come over on YouTube, click subscribe for us and help this channel out? They'll happily sit and get the free content on X. And have you got any idea why they would do that?
Do not begrudge anyone free content. We do this for the love.
No, but come over on YouTube and subscribe.
Money. Okay.
Come over and subscribe. Come over and subscribe. Then you can go and watch it on X after you've done that. You guys know how to find us. We've been doing this a long time now. Follow Everton. Neil Maupay looked good in training. Mason Holgate didn't look good in training. He was getting bypassed. He was the one where they were always beating him. There was a young lad. I don't know whether it is Roman Dixon that Tommy's talking about, who seemed very tenacious and they all look good in training, but is this because the standard of actual training isn't that high? I mean, we didn't see any Jared Banthwaite content. It was very much, it looked like Mope, Decore, Illiman and Jai, Coleman, Keane,
Harrison,
Holgate.
McNeil. Yeah, I think as well, there's the very real chance that they
Funny
don't
that,
want
Peter.
to focus a lot of content that has to be edited, because that would have been compiled over like what, the last week or so. I don't know, something like that. Or because it wouldn't have been yesterday or the day before, and you don't really know with everything that's going on which players might be leaving or going out on loan or being replaced. And I think sometimes they have to really think quietly, like, hush, hush, who do you want us to focus on? Because it must be a sort of a corporate branding image that they have. Do you know what I mean?
What did you think of the training gear they were in?
I was rather frustrated to see them wearing red bibs.
You answered my question. Red bibs,
Yeah.
could they not have gone pink?
Could they not have shit in their own hands and clapped? I'd have found it preferable.
That's a good point, that. So far we've got red bibs. We've got travel wear with no Everton badge on it, apart from very tiny little dotted one on the sleeve. We've got no home shirt, although that's being released tomorrow.
You are in a pernickety mood.
Well, I'd like a proper crest. I've just binned a load of Everton stuff today.
And I'd like players who play for the shirt and don't bail, for a bigger paycheck. But it's 2024, baby.
Just binned a lot of sort of 2010, 2011 Everton stuff. Size small though, couldn't get into it, so just had to make do. And kits, Sport Pisa and all that. Thought, nah, bad times.
What? Keep the kits. I always keep mine. I've got about.
Yeah, if they fit, if they're a reasonable size. Yeah, I've kept the 2000. I've got a 2007-8, shirt there. I found. I've got to clear my loft out.
I've got a 1990 whatever bloody red and yellow, black and blue transition and yellow. I think it's Danker away kit.
Very nice, but I was only really getting into it around 2005, 6. So
there were some awful kits.
Well, that 7-8 one is Umbro, famously worn by the likes of Joe Yobo, Yakubu. You'll know the shirt. It had a very small sort of
little white V. I know. Yes. I've got one.
And then like the diamonds on the thing.
Was it the Chang?
Chang, yeah.
Yeah, I've got some of them as well. They were lovely, little simple, lovely, basic shirts.
It was the first shirt anyone bought me. My father. And then I haven't been bought an Everton shirt since by anyone. Joke. So I like the yellow and black training kit, training wear. The home shirt's coming out tomorrow, which is good. We know what that looks like. It's a load of shitty patterns on it. Doesn't look great. Have you seen the league?
Didn't we recently, in the last few years, didn't we have a? I know we had like a lilac-y violet purple training kit, but didn't we have one at one point that was like a very almost white cream?
Yeah,
and it had like purple or violet trim, and that was lovely. That was just really lovely. It was like really classy, simple loungewear. I think maybe I'm confusing it.
Ones that stand out to me, there was a nice coral kit, away kit from a few years ago. The home shirts are very hit and miss. The home shirts are very hit and miss, which is such a disappointment, really.
I liked that spearmint green one that we had with the away or the third kit one that we had a few years ago.
Away shirts, I liked. Do you remember there was a black and gold and amber one? Sorry, and the white one we wore when we beat Chelsea in the FA Cup with Phil Neville scored the penalty.
Was that the one to? No, it wasn't. No, Cajun white with the blue. No.
So I'm just reminiscing here. I loved the Chang one with the Lecoq Sportif and the bib.
Oh yeah, that was weird.
It was a weird shirt, but it just reminds me of nostalgia. You know what? The last home shirt was quite nice with the collar. It was. I don't like it when we go very sort of plain, round neck, boring. Take my 50 quid. There's nothing of this shirt ones.
I don't know. Sometimes when the collar is a bit too excessive, I just think I look like a wanker, like Eric Cantona.
Well, we did well in that Nike one. That had a collar.
Yeah, all right. I'm not equating the football kit with success.
Oh, we can't get Nike back. The Lecoq Sportif ones and the Nike ones. Although people moan they were templates, I don't really give a. They weren't. They
I'm
were. They
sorry.
were very templatey. I'm
I'm
just
s-
looking at them now. They're
I'm
so
sorry.
templated.
I'm sorry. What I want to see is an homage to the Black Watch, and we're not going to see it. And I've said it all the
We've
time.
seen it,
Is what?
mate. Black and gold 2012-13 collection. It's really nice.
No, I'm on about as a commemorative one for our actual last season at Goodison.
Black Watch, wasn't that the black and red kit we had a couple of years ago?
The black, similar, yeah, sort of. But
They've
we had
done that.
several ones, and it was like a crimson or a sash, and then they dyed it black because of the unification of a couple of other local teams. Anyway,
I'm just going to bring a couple of pictures up. This was a really nice kit. Our away kit this season is yellow, by the way, and our
Okay.
third kit's black and gold. But
Are we doing?
This
are
is
we
so
doing-
much more classy.
Yeah, I like that. I do. It's nice.
And
Imagine
that-
when I look at that kit and I think of players like, well, it's difficult because he played for so long, but I just picture Leon Osman, like baggy shorts and long sleeves, like down to here, just scoring a goal and running off the
that one.
yeah.
Wait until you see
Yes.
the kits. tomorrow.
Jalovic, Jagioka, oh God, what's his name? Aidan no. Oh no, you've
Darren.
got me here. Darren Gibson, that's it. Darren, yeah.
The kit you're going to see tomorrow is horrible, but I'm still probably going to buy it.
Why do I not know what the kit is?
It's like blue with a round collar with like sort of a Fred Perry thing, which is fine. I like the collar, but then there's no more white on the sleeves, and then the patterns are like hideous, sort of like there's like a mark and then like a sign and the.
Hang on, no, wait. Is this? Oh no, because it's not last season's one. Last season's one was lovely. It had the nod to the Archibald Leach.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is it. I'll bring it up now.
Okay.
And I think this is Decore, but I'm not sure. I don't want to say something and. But the pattern doesn't look as nice actually in other pictures that I've seen. We could have gone full on. Look how much nicer this one is.
Mate, is that a real photograph?
Yeah, that's a real picture, yeah. From the photo
You
shoot.
sure?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I think it should have been.
Oh
I don't
no,
know.
I don't like. I'm not a big fan of. I know
The
it was
stripes,
used in the 80s. I'm not a fan of the varying colours, stripes up and down.
Right,
'Cause
okay.
To me,
This
it
is
reminds
the
me
actual.
too much of Liverpool kits.
This is the shirt here, actually. This one. Sorry.
It's all right.
Uno momento, por favore.
Oh, no, that looks like the Man City pajama kit.
I promise that's home shit. I promise you. I promise you. And the Fanatics emailed me this morning saying, don't forget your affiliate links tomorrow and promote the kit. And I'm like, what am I going to say? People are going to buy it anyway. If you're going to buy it through Follow Everton. But that with a giant steak logo, and we like the sponsor steak, but you can't have a big. It looks like a kid's like. It's like when my missus bought this white jacket from Primark and then got a pot of paint, decided to like splat it all over, try and make her own design top. What do you guys in the comments think? Let us know. That I'm telling you, that's home shit. Oh, by the way, the socks are striped. The socks, I believe, are striped white and black, horizontal stripes. Are you lost for words? Do you want to see the third kit?
Is that the kit that we are wearing for the last season of Goodison?
Yeah.
No. No.
God's
No.
a tiger.
No. No. No.
You don't like it?
No. Sadly, I've got to be honest.
You actually in tears?
Yes, mate. Because I literally before you came on, I was ready half an hour before this video. So I was sat watching that video, Leon Osman reminiscing about his memories at Goodison Park. So I was getting all emotional, being like, you know, big feels, going like, oh, Goodison Park.
It's not great, is it?
I don't have to get one.
Well, it's like when you go into JD and you see like you've got 1,000 sports tops in your wardrobe, so you're looking for something a little bit different to not get the same blue shirt. You want it with a slightly different textural pattern shade. But you okay, Chubb?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you want to do something iconic that hasn't been done in a long time and things like that. You know, why not have a hark back to the traditional style of stitching with the white or the EFC crest, or just other, or have a homage to that, like the Twin Flames or the 96, or things that Liverpool do, just or that other teams do. That I'm not just saying compare ourselves to Liverpool, but yeah, sorry, Peter said there.
Jeff likes
Like,
it.
I don't want to be disparaging. I'm sure it looks
Tommy
nice
hates it.
because, look, don't get me wrong. Any kit that they go out and play, like I go, that's my kit. Of course.
They're also Everton fans, by the way. The Hummel was the director, I think, was an Everton fan, and whoever owns this one is an Everton fan from the Wirral store. But apparently the shirts are very clingy and sweaty. This is the third kit.
Oh no. I like that. See, that actually I quite like.
But they fucked it up with the weird penis shaped thing. Why do they need that? I know it's the Everton locker, but it looks shocking.
The oh god, what's the Magritte? No, not Escher. Like with the Escher like shapes. Right. I get it, but maybe if it was like if that was the home kit and it was like things like that with a blue and a slightly darker or lighter shade of blue just for the lines, I could kind of get that. Not the willy-nilly. I don't know.
I haven't got a picture of the second kit, but it's white with a V collar, which is black and yellow.
Hang on, were those V collars?
Round.
No. I'm
Collar.
sorry. No. It won't be a V collar. I'm sorry, because any kit manufacturer that's doing the entirety of the kits, there will be consistency with the trims and the collars.
No, it's
Yeah,
a slight V. I've seen a picture of it. It's a slight V. I can show you now.
That is lovely. That is lovely.
Yeah.
That is beautiful. That's beautiful. You could even add something around the sleeves or around the bottom, like that amber and black. That's beautiful. That should be the template for the home and the away and everything. Is that the away or the third kit?
The away.
Okay.
I agree. That's a very nice kit. I'm going to buy that.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's simple. That's pure. Yeah, Danny.
Danny says, "Oh my god, absolute shite."
No. Danny liked the white one. Jeff is calling me a grumpy bugger, or calling you a grumpy bugger, or us.
I like that kit. That's very nice. I'm going to buy that. I would like that if it had a proper badge. I don't like the icon. I will buy that anyway for the purposes of the channel. But I'm not blown away by that pattern. I don't get what the relevance is. It looks like a
Look, if they
splash
could
mess.
tell me that abstract from some point, it's like it's a coding or like if it was
It's a-
something,
It's
I'd
Claude
love it.
Monet's.
I mean, you know what I'd love if there was some weird tessellation of like L4 or the footprint of Goodison or something like that of how it's changed. Just something interesting that would be maybe the silhouette of Goodison as it's changed over the year. Just something. I don't know. You know, things that actually are symbolic rather than to the club. That's just me. I feel that the shirt of a football team in a significant last season at their long-term home.
Yeah.
It should have some
They
significant.
missed a trick there with not doing a very sort of, I don't know, making it Goodison-y, vintagey. But they did that last season with the collar as the crisscross and all that sort of. Yann,
Maybe it smacks of left hand and right hand not knowing what's going on because of the delay and the pushback and when will we actually move there and.
But it's taken a long time to get these kits out. They're launching apparently tomorrow. Did you watch the Everton video of them in training?
Yes.
Did you pick up anything from that? Any particular?
Well, you've always got an angle. I picked up a few things. So what's your angle, sir?
I haven't got any angle. Just asking you a very generic question.
Oh,
apart from the red bibs, which I didn't like either.
Well, yeah, I literally wrote that down. No, nothing other than what we covered. Like I said, I noticed that they seemed to be very showcasey around, for instance, Harrison and his work with McNeil and the sort of fast-paced tiki-taki football of movements that you do in those compact kind of exercises. But no, other than that, I just for a while I thought, who the hell is Dixie? And I thought it might have been Dukesy. They're asking for the ball off Decore.
Was Roman Dixon the one who was just like charging
Oh.
behind? He's got with a fancy haircut with like blonde highlights, but he's got dark skin. Was that Roman Dixon?
I don't know. It could have been Dixon then. It could have been Dixon. Like, oh God. Because I was just thinking, whoever it is they're calling Dixie, I'm like, oh, okay. Now I'm interested. I want to know who this is.
I wouldn't say it too loud. Melanie Prentice will be on the phone. Private joke.
Don't be.
Is there anything else on your notes to touch? We've got 300 watching. Thank you very much. If you're on YouTube, smash the like button, subscribe, turn the notification on. If you're on X, thanks for watching. I don't know why you're still on X watching us. Please come over onto YouTube. I don't know how many times. I think it's some sort of running joke where these 200 people will sit and watch the show on X every time. Come on. That's what have you got for us?
Oh, wait, hang on. Danny seems to think he's sure they weren't taking the piss out of DCO. I mean, they were saying well, I don't know if that's.
No.
No, I
don't think so, Danny, mate.
No, there's no more notes. It's just, it would be nice to know. Sorry?
You excited or?
For what?
Preseason, first and foremost. I'll ask you a more intense version of that soon, but
I'm excited to go to the Roma friendly, which I just decided. Of course, I folded and bought. I'm going to.
Yeah, I can't go. I'd love to go to that. Would you?
You can go.
If ever, no, I'm working. I've got an event on. Would you say the first team, if the first team versus Sligo Rovers comes out and it's, I'm going to read it out: Virginia, Young, Keane, Holgate, Coleman.
Because of course it will be Coleman, yeah.
Yeah. And then the midfield will be Delhi. Mopay.
In midfield?
No, Delhi. So if the first team has got Young, Keane, and Holgate in the back four, it's got Delhi in the midfield with Mopay up front with Chimiti, and then Harrison and Young on the wings with Tim Orenbogen At what time are you turning that off for the 0-0 draw? Are you turning it off? It stinks of a 0-0.
Is it possible for a football match to end in minus goals?
If it's Mopay up front with Delhi, Holgate, Keane, Coleman, Young, Harrison and McNeil, it's going to be a shocking watch. But then
Put it
that's
this
not
way,
far off your first team.
I will not be booking my flight.
Don't worry, you won't be able to get a ticket anyway. I'm back on Thursday night to discuss the Sligo Rovers match with Babsy. You're welcome to join us for that on Follow Everton. And Yann, of course, if you've got nothing better to do, I think you've got band practice on a Thursday night. But feel free to do that where we do some tactical analysis. I don't think that's going to be too long of a video, actually. I think I want to talk about some of them. Have you got anything else you want to talk about? Feel a bit flat. I was really buzzing and then started talking about Holgate, Keane, Delhi, Mopay.
Yeah, I know. It really killed my mood as well. Thanks, mate.
And then those two wingers who couldn't hit a barn door with a banjo for 6 months last season and only turned up for the first 5 games and the last 5 games.
Well,
Bit hard.
yeah.
Jack
I
only
mean-
turned up for 2 of them. He said Jack Harrison was exceptional, by the way, Sean Dyche.
Yeah, he did.
I don't know
was
where he
ex-
saw that. Was he watching the
Yeah.
Leeds highlights from 3 years ago?
yeah. No, nothing more I want to say. I mean, plenty
Okay.
more I want to say, but it'd get the channel banned on YouTube. So
Well, by all means.
no,
Is it to do with Everton?
probably not.
Okay, leave it. All we need to say is, if you're looking for a left winger, a nut job. And we
Hey
haven't
man,
got
I
one
used
for
to
you.
be, I used to be speedy, but as it is at the moment, I'm on track for needing like a hip replacement in my 50s. So you know,
Got a bit of pace. You'll have to play. You put back at right back.
I know, that's where I play these days. If I ever get around to playing.
Yann, Peter Duggan saying if Branthwaite or Tarkowski get injured, it's going to be Keane and Holgate in defence. What are your thoughts?
Well, I'd rather it be as a result of Branthwaite or Tarkowski being injured than by a matter of selection.
You just know that in that preseason game, though, he's going to have Branthwaite, Tarkowski one half, and then the other half will be Holgate, Keane. That'll be where
What's wrong with that? It's not a serious real game. It's like he said in the video, it's a starting point.
No, it's just the fact they're still there. It's just the fact I'm still looking at these two people from so long ago who've been through every down and not many of the ups.
So why are you punishing them for that?
Holgate's terrible.
Look,
He's that bad. He went to Sheffield United. He stunk the place out. Left. They got promoted after he left. He went to Southampton. And then they got relegated.
when you phrase it like that, it's not very fair when you phrase it like that. But look, one thing that
I've witnessed him.
The way that yes, so have I. The way that I view footballers, though, a lot of the time is I'm far more willing to be understanding or forgiving of a lack of ability.
Piss off.
No, wait. Can I? If I finish this, I'm far more willing to be forgiving or understanding of a lack of ability. I accept that. What I don't accept is a lack of effort.
He's on 75 grand a week. He signed that contract because he believes he's worth it. That's what his agent asked for.
Well, then who's the idiot? You don't, Ryan. Can I have £1,000, mate?
The far more forgiving.
Ryan, can I have
Yeah. So are you saying if we lost 5-0 a match with Holgate centre half, you'd be forgiving? I've watched him play centre half and lose 50 matches 5-0.
That's not my point.
We have to play a back 5 every time he plays for us to compensate. And then they stand in a line of 5 statues and still end up conceding 3 or 4 goals. We're notorious for it.
Mate, if this was in the pub, I'd have swilled you by now, because this is not arguing in good faith, right?
Sorry.
No, I know, no.
I think it's entertaining, though, because there's over 300 watching.
I would, like, if a player is shit, okay, I'm not going to be like, oh, it's okay, he was shit and he lost, like conceded, or he's at fault for conceding a handful of goals. No, but what I'm saying is, I don't blame a player for not being good enough if he's brought into a squad and we need somebody to be better. Absolutely, yeah. I'm not going to get angry at them. Like if the manager has to resort to playing them, I just accept the reality. Sorry to maybe embarrass you here, or I don't know if Jeff's got a trademark on this, but we're just not. If they're just not good enough.
For those new here, that's a little jibe, but former Follow Everton member.
It's not a jibe.
Jeff.
It's a sign of agreement.
It's not a
You
jibe.
stir it up.
It's a tribute. It's a tribute. It's a tribute.
Yes.
It's a tribute.
Imitation, flattery, whatever. I'll just shave my head and
Is that why people always copy
terrible
me?
broadband.
Is
What?
that why people always copy me? Can you think of any? Is there anything else you want to talk about? Anyone?
Yeah, anyone, get in the comments. Ask Ryan about his questionable shirt.
I know.
No.
When I bought this, I didn't realize it's quite a nice summer holiday shirt with white shorts.
You look like you're about to step on board someone's yacht.
Yeah, I know. It's my holiday shirts. I thought if summer's not going to be coming with the weather, I'll try and bring it and somehow lure it in, but it never happened. And I'm sat here in shorts with a holiday top in.
What the hell was that?
What?
Sorry.
Group chat?
Yes. What? Sorry. I don't think that was meant for the group chat.
You won't be able to delete that now. I've commented. Explain yourself, mouthful. Are you going to watch Vikings Valhalla?
Oh, maybe.
It's good. If you've got time, watch the Vikings series, but it's 6 series or something, or 7 series. Very addictive.
I'm watching The Boys at the moment. It's dark.
Young boys.
Burn. Oh, that's so clever, Butterfly.
What do you have for tea?
I haven't had tea yet. Like a little bitch boy, I was running around for me like, oh, my Daddy Man's video. Anyway.
How old's that flag then?
That's from 1995.
It's class.
Yeah.
Would you say you're Everton's biggest fan?
No.
One of.
I mean, I'd like to be, but I would
Okay.
never claim that.
Let me get, just because I don't know how many months it's going to be before you bother to come on a stream with me again. What are your predictions then?
I was on one last week.
Would you take 14th?
Not knowing how things are going, I think I would take any position that was 16th or above, to be honest.
It's another shit season. So basically, we finished 12th last season without the points deduction.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is you'd accept a worse season than last.
No. What I'm saying is the teams that got relegated were the ones that got promoted.
They were terrible, by the way. It won't be
Yeah,
like
they
that
were
this
all. Yeah, it won't be like that. It'll be a lot more competitive. We were very scrabbly. If we're going to lose Onana, if we're going to lose potentially DCL, or he's not going to turn up, or maybe we've lost some manpower and faces or feet or whatever. I mean, we didn't replace Richarlison, we didn't replace Anthony Gordon, etc., etc. Then it's okay. Yeah, of course we could get the same number of points, but we're not playing the same opponents, and we might be, in theory, potentially in a weaker, coming from a weaker stance. So. Is it concerning? Slightly, yeah, because I don't know the quality of the benchmark of quality that we've got in the squad now with chopping and changing before the start of the season. So for me, if you were to offer me 14th, I would say yes, please, because
Okay. Would you take 16th then now?
No, because I don't want to be pessimistic. I was just hypothetically, if you could turn around and say we weren't in a battle. But we were clear of relegation, but we didn't do well. Oh.
He's an Everton fan. Right, not your bum. Yann, right, if we replace Onana well with someone like Fiorentina Luis, CDM,
What happened to Philogene?
he's going to Villa. They had a buyback option on him. And then they're selling Musa Diaby to, or whatever his Diaby name is, to some Saudi Arabia club for 100 billion, or the the Prophet Mohammed is signing him for a lot of money. Would you
The bottom line is profit. Oh God,
Prophet Mohammed of
this is you. I'm not involved in this. I just play with words.
that is
Don't
no,
do
but
this.
that is brilliant.
It's like what is this like some sort of New Yorker cartoon now? It's like Prophet Mohammed.
We're going to replace Onana. I'm just saying we're replace Onana and we sign Willie Gnonto. That's the only business we do. We replace Onana like for like. We sign Willie Gnonto. What place are you expecting?
It depends if DCL can.
No, they're all staying.
If he can score a goal.
But we don't know. So I'm offering you now. What position would you take if that happened? It's just Willie in, and Onana out.
The funniest part is onanism is a Greek word for. Never mind. I don't know. It's the same question, Ryan. I don't know. Some people are going to say we're in a stronger position. Some people are going to say, the stability, perhaps, and the removal of the uncertainty of points deduction. All that's resolved. We're not going to appeal it, and it's all done. I mean, is it all done and dusted?
Oh yeah, shit. Well, I wonder whether because we didn't appeal in the end, they will look at that other thing in good faith. Oh yeah, shit. Do you remember they said they were going to look at another period which we were contesting? Yann, why haven't we got a song for Decore? What about That's Amore? And we change it to Decore. When the ball hits the goal and it's scored by one man, it's Decore.
I mean, it's better than like, oh, his name's Jude Bellingham. Oh, hey Jude.
Why you play so bad? Can I have your thoughts on Gareth Southgate leaving then, just before we wrap things up? Boring football, but got to several.
Mr. Almost. I mean, we all felt his pain of the missed penalty. We all felt that there was something deep down that could have been a redemption story. That he more than anyone would have understood and been able to prepare the players, and the players would have felt a connection to him more than most other managers. I imagine. And he didn't light the world on fire with his football. He was just a no-nonsense footballer. And I do feel it's a shame. I don't begrudge him because he wasn't an arsehole. And he always said the sort of right, decent things. It was a bit frustrating that maybe he didn't change because he became a bit stuck in the mud, and then he didn't take Branthwaite. And he hasn't tried out some players sometimes, and you just wonder, like, on his selection. So all in all, like you're saying, the tactics, the selections, and the substitutions, just whether it was the players weren't good enough, which is what I'm strong enough I feel strong enough to say that, or whether it was his tactics. Because for me, relying on Foden, Bellingham, and Saka was, it's a good foundation. But to have Kane up front with that, it's disjointed, so disjointed that it plays it hobbles England. And as I said in the group chat earlier, it just, to me, it's like we have the ability then to play a more dynamic style of football that a lot of these players play at Arsenal or City and and abroad. And yet we're playing, it comes out as very Mike Bassett 4-4-2. Regardless of the formation.
I agree. What I didn't get was a few things. You've got Harry Kane, the Golden Boot winner in Europe. Then you've got Phil Foden, who won Premier League Player of the Year. I think, I'm not sure, but he was right up there with goals, assists, and everything. Bukayo Saka was the best, one of the best players at a side that was only a point off the title in the Premier League, most competitive. League of the League. And then you've got Jude Bellingham, who's arguably one of the best players in Europe, just won the Champions League, who's lighting the world on fire. Your front four on paper should be scoring
And
for fun.
Stones.
For fun. Yeah, well, I'm talking about even just attackers. The front four scoring for fun, and they only scored 7 goals, I think, all tournament. Now, you've got the problem.
Impotence.
Well, Kane has runners alongside him and pace. I don't think Foden and Saka are slow, but he had natural wingers on the bench. So he didn't use his.
But anytime you saw Kane in any position that wasn't in that cone of, I've got to get the ball and put it in the goal hole, right?
Well,
no, anytime he wasn't in that area, sorry,
to
me, he's a dinosaur. But anytime he wasn't in that zone, right? Like at one point, Saka cut inside. I don't know which game it was, and he went out wide, and he literally just turns like a monolith. And I'm thinking, you're faster than this, mate. And then he lays it off, or he hooves the ball back over, and I'm like, he's not adaptable enough to play outside, or to even play to know his weaknesses, because if he can't do that, then hold the ball up, and your strength, dude, hold it up so that you can have the back line flushing, overlapping, or pulling. I don't know. And it just
Saka for me frustrated me because he's very left-footed, always wants to come on his left, but when he did get round the right, he put balls in, no one was there. Foden was anonymous, particularly in that final. Absolutely.
Declan Rice was a weak
disaster. Link. Rice was poor. You're talking about world-class players. Pickford, Stones, Gay. You've got a good enough team to win the tournament. And for me, there was no excuse. What I found baffling was Spain had the possession and we played behind the ball. When we tried to counter-attack, we couldn't string a pass together for love nor hate me. They were touch tight on us. When we did go forward and get caught, they scored the 2 fucking goals. Nico Williams exposing in behind. You can't write that up, can you? Anyway.
It does make you wonder, though, if we were exposed as a result of playing that sort of weird dynamic 3 at the back.
I think it was a 4-4-1-1.
It was a 3-4-2-1. Or 3.
Foden was playing behind Kane, mate, and Bellingham was on the left wing.
It was weird, whatever it was. It looked like it reminded me of our days of Christmas pudding formations and stuff under, was it Walter Smith, or I have no idea.
Let's wrap things up. We've been on for an hour and 20 minutes. Thanks so much, Yann, for catching up. Nice to talk to you. When me and Yann have a conversation, it very rarely, even if it's a general phone call, it will never be a short one. So this is fairly short for us. I'm going to let Mr. Yann go and have his tea. I'm starving as well. Thank you so much to everyone watching. We're going to have more Yann content soon. We love him on Follow Everton, and we love you as well. So thank you so much to everyone in the comments. You can leave your comments after the show has ended. We do check them. And of course, as always, what should we do? Like and subscribe. See you on Thursday.
See you.